I'm seeing a lot of, directors of coaching bringing in that mentality of, giving 110% effort, but being okay with making mistakes and being in that mindset. But hey, if I'm going as hard as I can, but if something goes wrong, who cares? What am I doing?
This is Coach to Coach, where we talk junior basketball coaching in a relaxed, practical way. I'm Jace, and these are your fast break chats. Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. I'm very pleased to have a special guest along today, Talia Rees from the Blackburn Vikings Basketball Club. I was suggested by Russell, one of my earlier guests, to get Talia in for a chat. So we'll kick things off. Thanks for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Tell us, how long have you been coaching for now?
I was actually thinking about this before I came here, and I've actually been coaching for 9 years, which is kind of crazy in the fact that I'm only 22, so coaching for 9 years is a lot. But started coaching beginner basketball back in the end of year 7. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What teams are you currently working with, age groups and whatnot?
So currently coaching the 14-1 boys at Blackburn, but throughout coaching I've coached from 5 years old beginners all the way through to under 18 boys for domestic and everything in between, and coordinating and all the other stuff that comes along with it. So
all in. Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome. Why do you coach?
I think I always grew up in a basketball family,
Yep.
So it was kind of pushed on me to be involved in basketball. But honestly, I was playing youth league at Blackburn, and I've had 2 knee reconstructions.
Mm-hmm. So that'll slow you down.
Yeah, it turned into I was looking for something to keep me in the game, and the passion kind of kicked off from there for coaching, and it's just kind of taken off really.
Excellent. Has there been somebody through your coaching journey that has had a positive influence on the way you coach?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, big basketball family. My uncle, so he, Glenn, he coached Big V, 600 plus Big V games.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
I remember even when I was tiny, 4 years old, going and watching him coach and being around the sport.
Yep.
And I still pick his brain for things, and when he comes to watch my games, get his feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. And do you have a professional player, a favourite professional player at the moment?
Yeah, I'm not an NBA watcher. I'm not a fan of the NBA, honestly.
Nor am I. It baffles a few people. But
yeah, but I would say Owen Foxwell.
Yes.
Or Angus Glover.
Yep.
I'm an avid Phoenix supporter, but I think it's just great seeing, and the boys can see that I coached, the pathways and
absolutely
that are available.
It's a very real expectation, isn't it? You can go to an NBL game and I reckon the boys can picture themselves, boys or girls, there.
100% for sure. They
Yeah, particularly because the games are local. Not local, but you walk along court sides, and the last game at State Centre with Phoenix on court, it's so real, isn't it?
And the atmosphere, especially when it's at State Basketball Centre, it's electric. And,
it is.
The boys, they see the things that they're doing in their games, and they're like, hey, we can do this. Like, we can run the same kind of plays. And
absolutely.
Yeah, they love it. And even in that sense, Big V, I'm so excited for the season to kick off. My boys are probably more excited than I am, because we're running the same kind of structures throughout the whole club. So them being able to go there and, see an elite level of them running through those structures, and they're like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is the energy we need to bring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to find somebody who loves NBL as much as I do.
Yeah.
Although, Melbourne United, we can probably sit here and battle that out for the rest of the day. But
you know what? I will understand. I have a high respect for both teams.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. In actual fact, I cannot get over just how much of a positive influence King has had on that team.
Oh,
to look at it 2 years ago and say, and now look at it and go, wow.
Yeah.
What a roller coaster. But
Yeah.
The results are just absolutely there. It's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's constant rebuild, and now it's like they're getting those results.
Yeah.
And it's just the culture in the team is amazing.
Remarkable. So today we wanted to have a chat about an idea that we both resonated with, which was that sometimes losing is winning.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's have a look at that and what that, I guess, that means for you. Unpack that in a way that resonates for you. What does that mean?
I guess, I'm really big on being a process versus outcome coach.
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of have been. And I think, particularly this season with my under 14s, it's really evident that, we've had a lot of changes going into this season based on, team structure,
Mm-hmm.
Leadership at the club, stuff like that. And obviously plays a massive impact. But getting the boys to be able to pick up on, the things that we're doing well, even if we're not winning.
Mm-hmm.
Which, obviously, especially in younger age groups, it's a really tough thing.
Yeah.
Because they want to win.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
everyone wants to win. But being able to get them to recognise the things that they're doing well, whether it's running an action well or
Mm-hmm.
moving the ball, and then being able to take a step back and after the game be like, yeah, we did that well. We might not have won, but we moved the ball, we got open shots, we took the right shots. And then, obviously with time, hopefully those results do come.
Yeah, absolutely. Learn from the mistakes, if nothing else. Or not mistakes, just learn from the experience.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I have cases where, we'll put up a shot and the boys will instantly turn around to me and they'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that shot. Like, I'll make sure I slow it down next time. I'll make sure I kick it on to my teammate.
Yep.
And that stuff is like gold to me. I love that
Absolutely.
They turn around and say that. And I'm like, you know what? You're picking that up yourself. Like, I'm not having to step in as a coach and tell
Yep.
you.
Yep.
And yeah, like we started pretty high in grading.
Yeah.
So we were in contention for VC grading. Obviously not where we were going to play, and we knew that going into the season. But yeah, comparing it to the last Friday night that we've just played, and the ball movement and the shot selections that we were taking, it was impeccable. Like,
Yep.
I was over the moon after the game.
So staring down the barrel of playing VC level teams, how did you, I guess, navigate? Like, was there something that you wanted to get out of that experience, knowing that wasn't necessarily where you were going to land?
Yeah, I think, focusing on what we wanted our team to look like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Obviously, we were putting in new structures offensively that these boys hadn't looked at before.
Yep.
Making sure that, it was one or two things that we were focusing on that game, whether it was getting the ball down the court through pressure.
Yep. Yep.
And if we did that, great. That's a win. That's a positive coming out of
Yeah.
that game. Just completely taking the scoreboard out of it, honestly.
okay.
Like, we knew where we wanted to end up, and we knew that there was going to be, a process in getting there.
Yep.
But taking the scoreboard out of it and saying, hey, if we're going into a quarter, this is what we're doing for this 10 minutes.
Yep.
This is what we want to look like at the end of this 10 minutes.
Yep.
And if we do that, great. That's positive. We take that into next week.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because we were, I think, 3 points down in my under-17 girls domestic yesterday. And I literally told the girls that the next 3 minutes was going to... No, we weren't down. We were up. We were up by 3. So I said the goal needs to be, don't let them score.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, they did. But for the next 90 seconds, they managed to turn it around, and actually I think we ended up winning by 1 point. But the point is that it wasn't necessarily, my message wasn't to score. My message was to not, and not let them score.
Yeah.
And so you're right. There are times in the game from a coaching perspective where we need to be really diverse in the way we direct the players. And it's not always scoring.
Yeah.
It can be that. It can be, and if they do that, then they've won.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, you might have a list of 10 things that you know as a coach that you want to improve on, but you can't go out there and just, smack all 10 of those things on them at once. Like, you've got to take it step by step, and obviously giving them those clear expectations or those clear instructions of what you want them to do. If it's holding the ball up, if it's taking a 3-point shot, like, and also those kids going out there and doing that. Like, if you told them to pull up from halfway, they're going to go do that. Like,
absolutely.
That kind of, so definitely having that, also that connection with them to be able to, that they trust you, which is, it's always helpful, but yeah, definitely now that we've kind of moved into a space where we are a lot more competitive, it's great seeing that, you know, they're building that energy and, you know, it's just working now on more that consistency, I guess.
Yes.
Which is, you know, at the end of the day, they are only 11 and 12, so they're still very young.
Still working through their emotional regulations.
Yes.
Shall we call it that?
Yes. Oh, for sure. No, 100%. But we've, and I mean, another thing I love that we've got doing, the boys have reflective journals.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Which, I mean, was something I don't see a lot of, but I do love it. Like, I've seen it at a...
Do you know, I reckon the reason you don't see a lot of it is because it's something that requires quite a lot of maintenance from a coaching perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to hold the kids accountable. They won't necessarily naturally do it themselves.
Yeah, and I guess in that I've also... It comes from the parents as well.
Yep.
And, you know, I think in terms of the under-14s cohort, I've been pretty lucky with... you know, the parents and the players that I have, and they're pretty, you know, they want to get better. So we don't do it after the game. That's our rule. They're not allowed to do it on a Friday night. Obviously, you know, emotions are high.
Emotions are high, yeah, correct.
And they're looking at, you know, the outcome rather than the processes throughout that game.
Yeah.
And, you know, they sit down on a Saturday. I've given them some prompt questions. It's like, how did we do as a team? Like, how did you do individually? What's something you want to work on? And they write a full page reflection, like that's the expectation. And then they come Sunday morning, they bring that to training, we have a chat about it. I have my own journal.
Yeah, me
I
too.
write my own reflections. So
Yes.
It's always good to see, like, you know, the comparisons between what I'm seeing on the court and what the boys are seeing. And
do you find they align?
More and more as we're going on throughout the season, they're starting to be the same thing, like they're recognizing.
Well, I think that's going to be a reflection on your coaching then. That means that there's alignment, as you say, coming from the message that you're sharing with them and them understanding the expectations of you as a coach.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's something that it should be said, that there's a level of respect that should be offered to coaches at all times from players.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, even when I grew up playing, it was you might not agree in the sense with what your coach is saying, but you take it on board, you listen, and, you know, in that moment, you don't talk back, you don't say anything.
Nope.
If you want that clarification, you go after the game or you ask them and you say, hey, can you like, you know, explain that a bit more to me, like what you meant? Or if you think it's wrong, bring it up after the game, not in that moment.
Correct. Timing is everything in that one, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's also something that I think a lot of younger kids need to learn as well. Yeah. And I think that's personally why I'm not a huge fan of, you know, NBA stuff like that. It's like...
It's showy.
It's not the structure that we have in rep basketball at all.
Correct.
It's just transition 3 after transition 3, and then, you know what, like... Great if you're wide open, but go get on the ring.
Absolutely.
Get a high percentage shot and, you know, make sure it's going to go in the ring.
Go in, that's right, absolutely. So coming back to the idea of sometimes losing is winning, what other aspects of the game can we win at even when the scoreboard says otherwise? I know, for example, my son's team got beaten by 45 points or something yesterday. But ironically, I wasn't that displeased with how they played. We just got outplayed.
Yeah.
We got outplayed by size, height, age, experience.
Yep.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, also I think winning in, like, you know, our mindset about how we've done.
How we've gone into the game.
Yeah.
How we've walked away from the loss.
Yeah, 100%. And if if you're losing by 40 points, but you're walking away saying, hey, I did this well, we did this well, next week we can work on this. That's great. That's them wanting to get better.
And that's where that journaling can be a really good, almost accountability buddy, in so much as you guys told me that this is what you thought we needed to work on, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. The boys come to training and they'll say to me, hey, we struggled to get the ball down the floor in a press break. Can we try this? And I love that. I love the fact that they've gone away and they've thought about what's been going on in that game and they're bringing that to me.
That's an absolute win.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's fantastic to see that they want to get better and they want everyone to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that they're starting to play more team basketball.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what, for sure, we chucked it in. We've tried it at training. We tried it in a game and you know what, it worked.
Yeah.
And that's great for me as a coach as well, because they do provide a different perspective.
Yep.
And yes, I know at the end of the day, like, I'm the coach, like, and we've got our assistant coach as well, but they have a different view on the game.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I am always open to listening to what they've got to bring. And
I must admit, I reckon as a newish coach myself, I find my game times, I learn more in 40 minutes than I do any other amount of research. But I know that sometimes I actually will let things play out regardless of the result just to learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like
we were playing a 2-3 press yesterday, and I'm not even sure if it was working or not yet, but it was a good experience to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as you say, that sometimes winning is losing. Sometimes losing is learning.
Yeah. Oh, putting in things that you're not sure are going to work, but in the long run, you're building on it. They're learning how to do it.
Yeah.
And they're building that bag of skills that they know.
Absolutely.
It's great. That is a win.
Yeah, and I guess we need to maintain a culture of, do try, do have a go. My daughter yesterday, absolutely went to the glass, like I've never seen her go before. And I said, "Oh, where did that come from? Like, we haven't taught that." And she goes, "Oh, I've seen other players doing it, and I thought I'll have a go at it." I think that was my proudest coaching moment ever.
Yeah. No.
Not because I taught her to do it or didn't tell, but that we provided a platform for her to do so. Like a safe space that we say, you know what?
Yeah.
Give things a go.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a massive thing as well that coaches, and I mean, it's been spoken about on here before, but being okay with mistakes being made and those challenges, and like, as much as you want to jump in and you want to pick them up in that moment,
in every moment,
just let them play.
Yeah.
Just let them do it. Let them learn themselves. And I've learnt that this season, and it's happening more and more.
Yeah, right.
They pick up on things themselves, and they try something, and they have that safe space to try it, and they know they're not going to get yelled at or get told off for doing something.
Or benched.
Yeah, exactly. Because, at the end of the day, they want to be on the court. They want those minutes.
Nothing more.
But also, if they're just robotic in what they're doing, they're doing exactly what we've said, they're not really playing basketball.
No, they're following instructions.
Yeah, they're doing what we want them to do. And it's, if they can go out there and put 2 points on the board or run a new action on the floor, and they pull it off or they don't, regardless, they're trying to do better. They're trying to learn. They're trying to
absolutely
get the outcome that we want.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. And I think that I think overall there's a general culture of this, or maybe it's just because I'm hearing it, but I think that that's one of the things that will really help define Australian basketball is that message of have a go.
Yeah.
It almost aligns with Aussie culture, doesn't it? Like, just have a go.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I'm seeing a lot of, directors of coaching.
Yes.
Bringing in that mentality of, giving 110% effort, but
always,
but being okay with making mistakes.
Yeah.
And being in that mindset. But hey, if I'm going as hard as I can, but if something goes wrong, who cares? What am I doing next? What can I do?
Correct. Yeah. That's it.
And I think it just builds a positive environment and such an energy across not just, one's teams, across the whole age groups.
Exactly. Every age bracket can benefit from this message.
Yeah.
Every level can benefit from this message. So brilliant. All right. Well, I'm so glad to be able to sit here and share a very common value in terms of the sport, because I love it. Abundantly obvious you love it, so thank you so much for making the time to come and have a chat with us. It's been beautiful. It's been really great.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great fun.
Excellent. That's it for today's Fast Break chat on Coach to Coach. Thanks for listening. I'm Jace, and I'll catch you next time.